Sometimes the real story isn't what you see on the surface. It's hidden away, buried deep in the paperwork. Today, we're going to do just that. We're going to follow the paper trail behind one tenant's eviction, and what we find? Well, it reveals a lot about how crucial decisions can be made behind closed doors. All right, so let's start with the official story. And honestly, at first glance, it seems totally straightforward. Just a classic case, right? A sequence of events that looks like your standard run-of-the-mill procedure for dealing with a problem tenancy. So as you can see, the official timeline lays it all out pretty clearly. It kicks off with a formal warning in December. A couple months later, bam, a partial closure order from the court. Then an application to extend it. And finally, by July, a full closure order is granted and the tenant is evicted. See what I mean? On paper, it looks totally by the book. But here's where it gets interesting. Buried deep in those case files, there's a document that just doesn't quite fit. It hints that there was a whole other layer to this story. Something happening completely off the books, something you're not going to find on any official court timeline. So what was really going on? Well, let's dig in. It all starts with a single police form. And this form, it was filled out months before things really started to escalate in court. And it points to, you guessed it, secret discussions and strategy sessions involving a bunch of different public agencies.
To really get this, you need to know about something called a CHARM. It's an acronym for Community Harm and Risk Management Meeting. Basically, it's where all the major players, we're talking police, the local council, housing associations, get in a room to share info and coordinate a game plan for complex cases. You might also hear about similar groups like MARAC or JAG. It's all part of this world of multi-agency panels.
And check this out. Here's our first real piece of the puzzle. This official police form flat out confirms the tenant's case was discussed in these CHRMM meetings way back in November 2022. That is long before the court process really ramped up. This tells us right away this was never just a police matter. Nope, it was a coordinated multi-agency effort from very early on.
Okay, so that police form kind of cracked the door open a little bit, but the next piece of evidence, it's the smoking gun. It's a single email that completely blows this case wide open and changes the entire perspective.
So, picture this. A police antisocial behavior specialist sends an email to her colleagues at the Housing Association and the local council. She writes it right after they all walked out of another one of these CHRM meetings. This is all happening just as that final eviction order was being finalized.
Now really pay attention to the language here, because, wow, it's not about managing risk or offering support. The email literally states the objective. We simply cannot be in a situation where Mr. James returns to his property. That's not a discussion, it's a conclusion. The goal had already been decided. Make sure he was gone for good.
So you've got this undeniable proof, right? Emails and forms that prove these meetings were happening and that a strategy was being set. So what do you think happens when someone officially asks, hey, can I see the records from those meetings?
You guessed it, a total wall of secrecy. When Freedom of Information requests were filed, the agencies put up procedural walls. The council claimed the records were not held, which basically means, nope, we don't have them. The police hit back with neither confirm nor deny, a classic tactic that lets them avoid even admitting if the records exist at all.
And this is the absolute kicker. You've got an email written by a police officer to other public officials that explicitly summarizes the outcome of a CHRMM meeting. But on the other hand, those same public bodies officially state they can't or won't provide any records. The paper trail is screaming one thing, and the official responses are screaming the complete opposite.
So let's put it all together. You take the official timeline, you add the police form, then that bombshell email, and you top it off with the brick wall of FOI denials. What do you get? You get a pattern, a very clear pattern. And it doesn't look like due process. It looks like a playbook.
And the documents suggest a pretty simple 5-step playbook. Step 1, nominate a case to a secret meeting. Step 2, strategize behind closed doors and define the real objective. In this case, prevent return. Step 3, use your official powers, like a closure order, to execute that plan. And the final step, if anyone ever asks for the records, deny and obstruct. Keep the whole process hidden.
Look, this isn't just about one eviction case anymore, is it? The documents we've seen, they open up a whole can of worms about some really big ideas. We're talking about accountability, transparency, and the rights of every individual when they're up against the coordinated power of public authorities.
And this is why it matters to you, to all of us. First, it's about your personal data and who's sharing it without your knowledge. Second, it's about accountability. I mean, how can you possibly challenge a decision if you can't even see how it was made? And maybe most importantly, it's about fairness, the right to have your side of the story heard before an outcome is decided for you.
This whole paper trail leaves us with one massive question. These multi-agency meetings are supposed to exist to protect the community, but when they operate in total secrecy with their decisions shielded from public view, you have to ask, who are they truly protecting?